The spark of hope. Priya had always been afraid to speak in English. Every time she tried, her voice trembled, her words jumbled, and she felt people were silently judging her. At her workplace, she often avoided meetings, staying in the background and letting others do the talking. One day, her boss, Mr. Sharma, announced a big client presentation. To Priya's surprise, he called her name. Priya, you have been doing excellent work behind the scenes. It's time to present it yourself. Her heart sank. Me, present in front of everyone, she thought. Her mind raced with fears. She wanted to decline, but the encouraging look on Mr. Sharma's face stopped her. You have got this, he said. That evening, Priya sat alone in her room. Staring at her notes, she practiced her lines. But every time she imagined standing in front of an audience, her palms got sweaty. What if I forget? What if they laugh at me? She thought. Instead of giving up, she took a different approach. Priya stood in front of the mirror and pretended she was already confident. Hello everyone, she said, trying to smile at her reflection. The first time it sounded awkward, but she kept repeating it. Slowly, she began to focus on her pronunciation and gestures. She also recorded herself on her phone. When she played it back, she realized her voice wasn't as bad as she thought. Maybe I can do this, she whispered to herself. The night before the presentation, Priya couldn't sleep. Doubt crept into her mind again, but she reminded herself of one thing. Mistakes don't define me, trying does. The day of the presentation arrived. Priya stood in the meeting room, her heart pounding as her colleagues and the client waited. She took a deep breath and began. Good morning, everyone. Her voice shook at first, but she pushed through. Sentence by sentence, her confidence grew. When she finished, there was a silence for a moment, and then applause. Her boss beamed at her. Well done, Priya, he said. Priya couldn't believe it. I didn't speak perfectly, she admitted to a colleague later. But you did speak confidently, they replied. That day, Priya learned an important lesson. Perfection isn't the goal, progress is. From that moment, she stopped being afraid of making mistakes and started embracing every opportunity to improve. The spark of hope inside her had turned into a glowing flame of self-belief. Thanks for listening. We are learning and growing together.